Hey guys, welcome to Wheel to Wheel. All the fun and games are about to start. It's been a preamble up until now. Swift. This is where all the money comes into it, man. This is where we're all racing for the cash. All the guys who have qualified have been putting in their practice all week, and it is going to be an epic race. I can't wait for it. Joining me in comms tonight and doing the visuals is Black Sugar. Welcome.
Thank you. Yes, it should be an interesting race. I can't say I am going to know what the hell I'm doing because I've only done one race of practice this week, so this should be fun. From what I hear, I'm going to get owned by the rest of the W2W field.
Practice has definitely been key this week. If you're going to get found out if you haven't put the laps in. These cars are very unfamiliar to most. Not something that we have raced in a lot in wheel to wheel, being a front wheel drive Group 4 car. But just to give everyone a little bit of an insight into what's happening, we have two races tonight. One in a Group 4, the Group 4 Suzuki Swift single make. Soft tyres are mandatory. It is a 14 lap race. And we're starting with 80% fuel. And in the second race, we're also starting with 80% fuel, but it is in the Group 3 WRX. So we're hopping. It's not something we've done in wheel to wheel before, as far as I'm aware, where we've jumped races on the same track at the same day in different cars. We've had different cars from week to week, but we haven't had different cars from race to race. So it's going to be very interesting going from a front-wheel drive Group 4 car to a rear-wheel drive turbocharged Group 3 car in a few minutes. That's going to be super interesting.
Yeah, I mean, they'll get a 10-minute quali to try and get used to the car again. But yeah, that's definitely going to make life interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be super fun. If you haven't done any running if you haven't practiced swapping between the cars, and if you haven't done any practice in them, you're really going to struggle. Yeah. I think in the changeover. But we have. We're going to have some really interesting racing. Tyre wear is going to be a big issue as well. We've got a 4 times tyre wear multiplier, which is different from what we've been running during the normal season. So there's lots of variables, lots of differences, and we've also had a shake-up of the lobbies. So there's only 2 lobbies left. So we've got a Div 1 and a Div 2, and they're all racing for cash. So we have...
I've just brought up the who we're seeing racing today. So tonight's races we've got, and I've got their points there for how they did for season 19 for the first 6 rounds. So it's looking pretty good. You've got Nux, or Not Bad Thanks, sitting up there at the top. He took out the. Did he take out? He did take out the Div 1 championship, didn't he? With his.
I believe so. Yeah.
680 points. Then you got Bummy came second with 3660. You got Zoo in third, Baker in fourth, MCDC in fifth, Brutal in sixth, ROS Farizi P was in seventh, DJ Stefco in eighth, and then in ninth place we've got the first Div 2 runner, which was DJ Swingin, who came in with 2,940 points. He was definitely had some good pace in him. And then in second, in 10th, which was C1 Parrot. Now that's interesting though, because C1 Parrot came third in the Div 2 race, but with the times all calculated, Wrestler, who came second, got the points but just didn't quite get the time, so he is down in Div 2 this week. So we've got, and then we've got Euthrolic Straw, who was here, yeah, and he was also Div 2. And then the number one, the winner, the champion for Div 3 was LP Almonds, and he's coming in as our 12th racer tonight. So that's going to be an interesting race. Oh,
Yeah,
sugar
just
home.
guys in the chat are saying that you're a bit hard to hear there, Sugar, so you may have to just boost your
Rank up.
volume a little.
Ooh, let me have a look. Let me see if I can do that. Here we go.
Just pump up the jam.
Pump it up. Okay, let me try. I wonder if my mic's facing the wrong way.
It could be, you never know.
No, mic is facing the right way. We'll see. Alright, let me just try. Just going to crank it up. Let's get up to 150%, eh? Let's see. Now you guys are really going to be
Gonna blow people's eardrums out now.
Alright, how's this? Is this? Oh, hang on. Maybe I need to close that. Right, is that any better? Okay.
We'll have to wait.
We'll find out.
Wait for the
You guys
chat to comment.
let me know.
We will.
And
Just
sorry, I was going to say, do we have time to have this week's edition of Name That Corner? Or,
name that corner.
I know we're getting close to race time.
Yeah, I think we're just about ready to kick off qualifying, but we'll chuck it up and we'll have a look.
What do you reckon? So, do you know what? Well, actually, can you tell me which corners you do know?
Yeah. So there's Hell Corner, which is the last corner on the track.
Oh, see, now this
I think it's the last corner.
Is the first corner.
It's the first corner. Sorry, yes.
Before Mountain
The first
Straight.
corner, and then you've got Mountain Straight. Then you have the cutting. Then you go up through Reed Park and McPhillamy, down through the S's and into the Dipper, and then into Forest Elbow, and then down into the Chase. And then I can't remember what the last corner. Conrad Straight, yeah, Conrad Straight, then the Chase, and then
Murray's
I can't
Corner.
remember what the last corner. Murray's, that's
Murray's
it.
Corner. Yeah, now it's interesting. Because
Yes.
I've seen a few different tracks, and there is some were giving me conflicting information. So you had so that first bend, so pretty much turn 2. It says here Griffin's Bend. But you were
Griffiths,
calling
yeah,
that-
Griffiths.
Oh, Griffith's Bend, but you were
Yeah.
calling that the cutting.
No, the cutting is
Okay, turn 3.
the next corner. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Griffiths is the right hander off Mountain Straight.
Yes, that's the one. That top
Yep.
one where.
So yeah, Griffiths, and then the cutting, and then yeah, Reed Park, McPhillamy, the S's,
Yeah. Okay.
and so on and so forth. The spiritual home of motorsport in Australia. It's one of our iconic tracks. It's well known all around the world, and all of these guys should have a great deal of time and laps around this track. So
Yeah.
no excuses for not knowing the track. It's just a matter of whether you can get it, put it together with this package of front wheel drive Group 4 Suzuki Swift. So we need to have some. Is there any Swifties in the chat? I'm gonna say
Yeah.
Swifties for the Swift. No, we'll just have to wait, see if there's any Taylor Swift references coming through in the chat.
No,
Might have to,
doesn't seem so.
No.
Well, it looks like
but
Armin's ready to
yeah.
kick off.
He said reset your mic, Sugar. Is Hammy is
Reset
saying,
my
but
mic.
yeah.
Reset it to what? See, this
Hey,
is,
Bretto.
Yeah, I'll have a bit of a play around later on. We'll see if I can make it.
Yeah,
better.
we'll get
Is it
qualifying
better
underway,
or
and
it's- Yeah, get it underway.
we'll get qualifying underway, and then we'll have a look at the we'll have a look at the mic situation soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll keep. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I'll have a bit of a play around with Mike, see if I can make it better. I can kind of see the bars going up and down, and it looks to me like I'm doing the same as you.
Tombo said he's going to shake it off. Nice one, Tombo.
Nice one. All right, shall we say? Do you want to let Armin's know we're good to go?
Yes, I've told them that they're good to go,
Oh, yes, you have.
and these guys are going to crank it up. They're going to get qualifying underway, and
What do we go? 11.
we've got
What are we missing?
10 minutes. You got Naka, Swinger, Baker, Freezer, Parrot, Throlic. I think everyone's there.
We did have 12, didn't we? We're supposed to have 12. There's only 11.
Okay.
Who were following? I don't know. say. Oh yeah, from the front and the back, all the colours are the same. You're going to have fun calling out these ones.
Yep. So we're already seeing some strategy come into this. Qualifying is going to be super interesting. Just have to have a look and see what the guys are going to do. Tyre wear, this car drops off tyres really quickly. So you get a couple of decent laps. Couple of decent laps on your softs. Maybe 3 at the most. And then you start to drop time. So it's going to have to see what these guys are they going to bank a lap? Are they going to pit? Are they going to run it? Are they gonna, like, it's just very, very interesting to see who does what here coming into the first qualifying. It's 10-minute qualifying, so it's not short, but about 2 minutes 12-ish a lap. And then in and out laps, it's going to be tight. So we've got Apex Humper dropping into the chat as well. That's probably coming through the dipper. Is it 3 seconds?
1.5 seconds. No, that's right.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Out lap, so that's fine.
Yeah, it's on his out lap. That'll be alright. There are a few funky penalties around here. So we've got MCDC pitting at the end of his out lap.
Interesting.
Okay, interesting. And we've got Brutals come around. Swingers dipped in as well. Baker's gone around.
Are they thinking the 80 litres is just not enough for them? Chuck a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? Giving him for fresh rubber.
Interesting.
Yeah, going to be super interesting to see what happens now. So these guys taking a bit of a risk with pitting early and not banking a lap.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how it all shakes out.
That's right.
As we come through, we've got Brutal coming. He's the first car on track in the little Suzuki Swift. Shout out for the liveries. I can't remember who did them. Did Baker do them?
Yeah.
Not sure.
I think he did.
Yeah,
I know he shared them.
I think he did. Yeah. Well, they look great. The Dash Cash cars look great. So,
Yeah.
all the cars will be the same except for the central colours and names on the windows and numbers on the windows. So, it's going to be great. Everyone's the same car, no tuning for this part of the season. So everyone's driving the same car with the same tuning. It's just completely all down to the driver.
Yeah.
So
I'm a little sad that
it'll
I'm
be
not
very
going to
interesting.
drive my Fezzer.
Yeah, having withdrawals from the Ferrari already.
That's the one. Yeah. Yeah, especially going from a Group 3 Ferrari into a Suzuki Swift. It's like, yeah, it's not really the same.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not. Definitely not.
Although I did enjoy that Subaru. I quite, mind you in saying that, I did like 4 laps in it, so there's not
The
a lot
Subaru?
of practice happened there. Oh, sorry, yeah, what do you guys
what
call
is
it? A Subaru.
What is it?
We call-
It's a
well,
Subaru.
In New Zealand,
The Subaru.
we call it a Subaru. And that's
A Subaru.
it's a Subaru, yeah.
the
And then we put our
old
chili bin in
Scooby
the back,
Doo. Yeah.
and we take
You
it to
can
the
only
dairy.
drive them in jandals.
That's right.
There's Brutal's coming across the line to bank a time. And he goes 13-1. So Parrot's just gone a little faster there with a 13 flat. Baker Boy, is he going to come in? Baker Boy's come into the pits.
Hits.
So he hasn't banked a lap. He's done an out lap and then pitted.
That is an interesting.
And now he's only gonna have one lap, I believe. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's very interesting. We'll see what the other guys are up to now who have pitted on their out lap. So there goes Steph goes past Eustrolic. And Farizip has popped to the front while we were checking out some of the other guys there with a 12-3. 3. I have heard rumours of the mythical times in the 11s.
Oh yeah, I did see Nux do one of those today.
So we're going to have to wait and see if that materialises. I think that's going to be a lot to do with perfect conditions. They're nice tailwind down the Conrod Strait. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if that's that can be obtained. But Farizip's gone purple through across the top of the mountain there by 2/10.
Let me see if I can get this passenger side. Oh yeah, look at that passenger seat. All right, we're in the passenger seat. And with Farizip.
Who are we in the passenger seat with?
With
Farizip. Farizip.
Well,
as he comes down Conrod. He comes down Conrod Strait. Just buried the accelerator in the firewall. Oh, he's up by quite a lot. If he can hold it, it might be an 11. He's right down to the 100. Jams the brakes, kicks it into 3rd. Through the chase there. Gets it on the gas nice and early. Comes down just before the 50, down into 2nd, over the bump, on the gas nice and early. Early shift up to 3rd. Just drives it out to the rev limit. Oh, 11.92, there it is. That is a cracking lap there by our Republic of Speed driver. Fantastic lap there. We head back in the pack. 12.4.
Oh, there we go. And not bad, thanks.
Bad, thanks. 12.139. He's got enough time left to get one more in. Steph goes up into 3rd. That's a great effort from DJ Stefko, who suffered from viperitis.
Yeah,
yeah,
dirty old Dodge.
Suffered viperitis in the regular season. Poor car choice.
Yeah, I think NJS and our race will probably be the same.
Yeah, he's. Thank God.
Yeah.
But he's had a lot of practice at defending, so he might. They might be hard to get past. Those two guys had a lot of practice.
Yeah. Oh, that's who's missing Bummy.
Oh, right. He was in the lobby earlier, wasn't he? Could have sworn he was in there.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe he's had a power failure or something. I'm not sure. Could have sworn I saw him in here earlier.
Oh, look at that. MCDC has got he's 0.094 faster than Zoo. But
yeah, the gaps are exactly the same.
Yeah.
Takes skill to do that.
That's the one.
So come down to the chase here as see if Nux can do anything about Farizip's time here. Comes down, comes out of Murray's
corner
onto the straight. Oh, got very close, but not quite enough.
See how Stefko goes. Oh, he must have had a spin. He's 16 seconds slower.
Stefko's done a great job there to put that on the 2nd row, followed by Baker Boy. MCDC and Baker Boy there. MCDC off the 3rd row. Zuzu on the 3rd row as well. Swinger, Almonds, Parrot, Brutal, and Euthrolic. Everyone within almost a second of the pole time. So super exciting. It's going to be a really interesting race. It's really quite tricky to pass on this track in these cars because they're all just so evenly matched. It's very, very difficult. And we just wait for the time to expire as the guys delete some rubber
Yeah.
as they wait for the race to begin. So we'll just run through the qualifying order here in the Les Rawlings Dash for Cash. We got ROZIF, Freezip. We've got Not Bad Thanks, DJ Stefko, Baker Boy, MCDC, Zuzu, Swinger, Almonds, Parrot, Brutal, Uthrolic. That is our grid for the first race in the inaugural Les Rawlins Dash for Cash. Les Rawlins Conveyancing's Dash for Cash.
It's the one. It's interesting. Yeah, they're only like just over a second off. The whole field, 1 second.
Yeah, just over a second apart for everyone.
Wow, so close. So this will definitely make for some interesting racing.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. As I said, there are some sneaky penalties to have, and the penalties here are really harsh.
Oh yeah.
So it's yeah, if you get a penalty here, it is really going to hurt you.
Yep.
Especially entry into pit lane. Entry into pit lane is like a 5-second penalty. Grid start for this race, so there's going to be a lot of wheel spin, and people are going to have to watch out. There could be some lagging guys there if they haven't practiced launching. There's going to be some variations in speed. Freezy's jumped the start, and so has... What have we got here? Who's back there as well? Almonds.
Oh no.
They've both jumped the start. It's just gifted the lead to Not Bad Thanks there, followed by Baker Boy. We've got a couple of guys out wide. Just run back through the pack here. Almonds is out wide. Uthrolic and Almonds at the back of the pack, but up at the front, we got Not Bad Thanks and Baker Boy, as the pressure has just gotten to the couple of the guys there on the start. And just maybe they forgot the brake. We've been doing quite a few rolling starts this season, so maybe they just haven't read the driver briefing correctly, and it has cost them significantly there.
Lost 3 spaces for Easy.
And yeah, Almonds has gone all the way to the back, and I think he might have got pushed out wide. I don't think it was actually Almonds who jumped the start. It was the yellow car.
Yeah.
Who's that? That's Zoo.
Right.
That was Zuzu who also jumped the start. So he's dropped back quite a bit now as well, and he's being harassed by Swinger. And then we've got Almonds at the back of the pack here in the little chrome purple Suzuki Swift. But heading up towards the front, we've got Not Bad Thanks and Baker Boy and DJ Stefko, and then Freezip, they're back in 4th. Brutal's up to 5th, and then we've got Parrot, Uthrolic, Zuzu, Swinger, MCDC, Almonds. That's our running at the moment. So through lap 1, come through the chase, down into Murray's heavy braking zone, one of the really good passing opportunities down here into Murray's. It's heavy on the brakes. And then another really good passing opportunity is down into turn 1 into Hell Corner as well, another hard braking zone. But at the moment, Nux is showing them a clean pair of heels, and he's got that little Swift absolutely pumping. It's the draft up the hill. 2 cars behind him could potentially work together and help close that gap. So at the moment, he's really just out in front, and the guys are really going to have to try and stick with him here, because if he gets a gap, it's going to be very, very hard to close it down in these cars. Once you've lost the lead group, it's very, very difficult to get back. We see Freezip back there in 4th, and he's already nearly 2.5 seconds off the lead. And dropping back now because he's just out on his own. He doesn't have anyone to work with. So that's going to be a difficult job to catch up to the guys in front there. Let's just run back through the field. The top 4 have gapped out, and then we've got 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th, 10th and 11th all together on track.
Wow.
Armands has done a really great job to catch up to the back of that pack so quickly.
Yeah, he's caught up nice and fast. He definitely
he
looks at home in Div 1, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. he's gonna. Yeah, I mean, I've raced with Armands a lot over the years and throughout the seasons, and one thing about him is he is definitely not afraid to put the car in a position that is unusual and not expected. So when you think you're safe,
Really?
just when you think you're safe, Armands can put the car in somewhere where you don't really expect it, and he can make unexpected passes because you just don't expect him to put the car there, and then he does, and there's nothing you can do about it. So you throw it down into Murray's here, down the inside of Parrott for a pass, heavy on the brakes, nice up over the curb. Can he get it done? Oh, someone's ridden wide there. Everyone bunches up. There's a gaggle of cars now. Parrott, MCDC getting involved. We go 3 wide through Hell Corner. And out there we've got Parrott. There's a little gaggle of Suzuki Swifts there. I'm not sure what the collective noun is for Suzuki Swifts, but gaggle seems appropriate. It's they're in a train now and coming into the sweeper here. Griffiths. Everyone gets through there nice and clean.
Yeah.
That's a tricky corner there. If you get out wide, it's quite slippery. You come through the cutting. Interesting place to pass there. MCDC gets a little touch from Hydraulic and they get a bit squirrely. Coming up the hill now, that's opened it up for Armands, and he's gone past Zoo, but he's backed off because there's nowhere to go when that tightens up. Nice driving there from Armands. So you got coming across the top of the mountain, Swingers out into 6. Brutal's been the beneficiary of this fighting, and it has definitely led to him getting a little bit of a gap, and Swingers going with him. And then you've got Parrott, MCDC, Hydraulic, Zoo and Armands are all just fighting it out.
Now,
Out in front.
Solslow has asked a question and he's saying, are all cars on softs?
Oh, let's have a quick run through the field. I do believe they are. You got yes, yeah. No, Brutal's on mediums.
Brutal's on mediums, okay.
Softs. Brutal is the only car on mediums.
Right.
So he is doing very well to hold that position in 5th place on medium tyres.
Yeah.
It's going to be super interesting to see how that shakes out.
Because it'll be interesting, yeah. Springer behind him, so obviously on softs. But what are we, lap 3? Do they start to become a little bit harder after about lap 5, 4 or 5? Become quite.
I think a lap, they really start to drop off about lap 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Until then, you can lap fairly consistently.
Yeah.
But yeah, after sort of lap 5, lap 6, they really start to drop off a cliff quite badly, and the mediums will be quite a bit faster, or as fast, or even a little bit faster than the softs. It's just a matter of where they're gonna, how he can hold. If Brutal can hold these guys off and keep them behind him, then until the pit stop, then it's game on. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens so far. But he's doing a great job so far.
Yeah.
Did a 13.7 on the mediums on lap 3, so his pace in the mediums is pretty speedy. There's Swinger
Right behind him.
right behind him now, and Parrot's caught up as well. So MCDC there, he's really getting into the fight. Euthrolic's picked up a second penalty and clips the wall coming out of Forest Elbow. It's going to really make his penalty really substantial there with that little clip on the wall, plus the 1 second. Penalties here are very, very bad. It's the fastest part of the track, and these cars don't accelerate very quickly, so getting a penalty in these things really, really hurts you. So it's going to be interesting to see Parrot and Swinger at it now. It's just coming through the chase, coming down into Murray's.
Yep, hell's still to come.
Hell corner is on its way now.
Yep.
But at the moment, got to say, advantage Brutal.
Yeah, seems that way.
At this stage. So, just depends on what the other guys are going to do, how they're going to split it. Back up to the front, we'll have a look. Leave those guys battle it out for a bit, and we've got Not Bad Thanks, or as we know him, Nux, is out to a 1.2 second lead. And then we've got Baker. And we've missed a bit of overtaking action there while we were having a look at the guys down in the back of the pack. And Farizip's taken over the last of the podium positions. He's caught up to Stefko and gotten past. So apologies for missing that action, but guys down the back are really battling it out. So it's going to be interesting now to see if Farizip can catch up to to Baker Boy and Nux as the tyres start to really become a challenge now. You know, lap 5, lap 6, you'll see the times start to drop off. They're going to potentially pit stop window for anyone who's thinking of running the mediums long. It could potentially stop early and run mediums to the end, and get some clean air now. A little bit overcut action, perhaps, if you're in a pack. It might be an idea. But Swinger onto the back of Brutal now, so we head back to see the second battling pack here. Going down into Murray's corner. Now we're going to see what the times are like. We'll just see here with Swinger's done a 13.6, Brutal's done a 14.2. So yeah, definitely some variance in the times there. As Brutal is being harassed by DJ Swinger, the sponsor of the Dash for Cash, aka Les Rawlings. He comes around the outside into Griffith, and that's why it's really difficult to pass through the outside of Griffith, because the grip is poor out there.
Yeah. So that's allowed MCDC to jump Swinger and almost look like he's racing behind his teammate. They both got the same colour orange.
Yeah, they do. They do look like they've got picked the same random colour.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Have they got the same wheels, same wheel colours? Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, super interesting. It as the two orange Swifties head down the mountain, down towards Forest Elbow, one of the most famous corners in Australian motorsport. If anyone remembers, is old enough to remember, or has seen the replays of Dick Johnson in his green Falcon hitting a rock and depositing himself in amongst the trees.
Oh wow.
It's a very iconic piece of action there from the mountain that most people will be familiar with. in Australian motorsport. Very, very lucky to not be seriously injured, but the car was definitely not one that survived.
Wow.
So we've got our first pit stops now, as Stefko and Nux have come into the pit on lap 6, and then that's allowed Baker Boy to inherit the lead, and Farizip is right on his tail. He has done a great job to catch up. And Brutal still holding, is now holding third with MCDC on his tail. And Swinger has fallen back into the clutches of Parrot. Almonds and Euthrolic are nose to tail as well. So we've got a couple of little battle packs here. And we've got Nux and Stefko have come out at the back of the pack. Now, we've got Almonds and Euthrolic through Griffith. Euthrolic out over the ripple strip.
He tagged the wall there. Slowed him down.
Yeah, Almonds has got the place there. That was some good racing there. It's very difficult to go side by side through Griffith, as we saw earlier. But fresh tyres, low fuel. What can Nux do now? And can anyone challenge his ascendancy in this race? He's been out in front the whole race. As Euthrolic is really pushing hard now, he's getting a little bit squirrely. Tyres might be getting close to the end of their life, and he's really struggling to pull that Swift up in some of the spots there. As Nux ranges up onto the back of him. To see, we've got pit stops coming from the leaders. We'll head back to the front. See what these guys are going to do. Now, someone's potentially could get a 5-second penalty on pit entry if you are not super careful.
Really?
As they come down into the pit entry, hard on the brakes.
Baker.
Yep, looks like they're both in clean. Both on exactly the same fuel number.
Brutal, I'm thinking what, he'll stay out and do 9 laps and then do 5
Probably, yeah. Probably, I would say, yeah, probably 9, maybe 10 laps. Depends on how he wants to split it, but I would say probably, yeah, so 9. The rest of the field's in.
Is it not dropping off too
lap
much?
8.
14s.
Yeah.
But then, of course, Nux is only 8 seconds behind him.
As Stefko, Farizip comes out behind Stefko. Just a bit of a surprise there, I think.
Forgot to not take fuel, or do you need to take fuel in this? You probably do.
You do need to take a little fuel. It's not too much.
Oh, yeah.
They look pretty even on fuel. But yeah, just the extra lap on the softs has cost him time wise. Let's have a look here. We've got 13. We've got a 13.3, and then a 13. Well, his Stefko's lap hasn't updated, so I'm not sure his last lap was. But he is out lap and in lap obviously better than Farizip, so he's jumped him on track, which is super interesting. We've got Baker Boy, they're back into 5th. It's Brutal out in the front there. He's getting some TV time, running the mediums. Looks like everyone has decided to go soft split. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens when Brutal comes in, to see where he's going to come out in relation to the people he was running with, and even in relation to the leaders. And like, I think pit stops what, about 35, 40 seconds maybe.
Oh yeah.
So when we go back to, could be interesting.
So
He's
Nux.
about He's about 30 seconds ahead of Frolic in 11th. So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
He's going to have some work to do because he'll definitely have the best tyres and the lowest fuel, so he'll most likely be the fastest car or closest to fastest car on track, but
Passing will be fun.
Still have to pass.
Yeah.
So it'll be very interesting, but his times have been fairly consistent. Interesting, we'll have to wait till he comes in. He's probably, looks like it might be this lap.
I would assume he'd do it after this lap.
Yeah, I would say so.
Because you can comfortably get 5 laps on softs, right?
Yeah, you will get a little bit of drop off. You get a little bit of drop off, but it won't be as bad because, as you say, he's going to be on low fuel.
Yeah.
So his tyres will definitely stretch a little further than the guys who have done, 8 laps or 7 laps on heavier fuel load. So he definitely will. But pit stop is not mandatory. Just seeing in the chat there, pit stop is not mandatory, but is most people will do it. Yes, recommended. Otherwise, you're probably going to run out of fuel.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you
Brutal
can't
comes
even
down.
do a medium. It's interesting the way the way this one's been set up, because a strategy could be just run mediums and do a little bit of fuel saving, and then you wouldn't have to pit at all. But you had to use softs. So
yes.
so
He's going again.
Is he?
Yeah, he's going around again. He's going to do 10 and 4.
10 and 4.
Oh. Yeah. So all the time now, Nux and Stefco are closing down the gap. So it was about 7.5 seconds in front at the pit stop, and now it's down to 4. So yeah, his times are starting to drop off a little. He's down in the mid 14s now, so might just having a look and see what the gap to. Yeah, see the gap has come down quite substantially back to Frolic. He's picked up a couple of seconds on Brutal just in this lap, so it'll be super interesting to see where Brutal pops out. It's 30, even if it's a 30-35 second pit stop, he might drop to the rear of the field and then gonna have to do all of the passing in 4 laps. So
now I'm just on board with MCDC. He is definitely he's trying to get past Zoo. Zoo's
battle pack there.
On. I don't know if that was an accident or if he's saying not really the place
Zoo,
to pass.
MCDC and Swinger all coming down the cutting, down the dipper, down into Forest Elbow. Oh, 3-second penalty from Zoo. The dipper has cost him.
Oh no.
He pops over to the side of the track here.
Yeah.
Guys are just gonna.
Whoa.
He's just gonna cruise on by. Very, very harsh penalty. Especially in this car.
I think he's having trouble with his wheel because he was.
He may
right
do.
over on the grass there.
Yeah, Brutal's into the pits.
Allows Nuts to jump back in the front.
So he's back down to 4th. Baker Boy's down to 5th. MCDC and Swinger are coming down into Murray's now. I'm going to zoom on by. Parrot's going to zoom on by as well. The fuel has started to go in. It's on to softs. And where's he going to come out?
Where's he going?
He's come out in 6th.
Oh, right.
So he is he's come out right in the mix between Swinger and MCDC. So that pack has turned into a fight of 3, and Brutal is definitely going to have the advantage here with the low tyres, fresh tyres and low fuel. So it's going to be hard for these guys to keep him at bay, you would think. Especially up the hill. This is where you lose all of your time on the worn tyres. Is up across the top of the mountain, up the hill, and down into the dipper. See,
Putting the pressure on MCDC.
Yeah, it's definitely putting the pressure on. As you come down towards Forest Elbow, you'd think if Brutal can get a decent run onto the straight, you think it might be a move down into the chase here. MCDC's got a little gap. But, Swinger right on the back of Brutal as well. But looks like MCDC may have just gotten himself a little buffer. He comes down into the cutting. Down into the chase, sorry. Hard on the brakes. Down into 3rd. Nice and wide on exit. Down into Murray's. His pack, MCDC goes a little defensive. It's got a nice little gap there. Nice driving there from MCDC. He's not making things easy. Down into Hell Corner. He's got a nice run out of there, up the hill.
It does seem to be our closest battles at the moment. Yeah, they are.
I think so, yeah.
We've got Armin's is right on the back of Zoo. Oh, and
he's going to go towards the outside, try and do around the outside of Griffith. I've seen this end in tears before. Nicely done through there. Come through. Up the hill. So head back to the front. We've got a gap closing down to Nux here. Well, it was there for a second. I think Farizip's just made a bit of an error going through the dipper.
Yeah.
It's down to around about a second. And Farizip's got 1 lap fresher tyres. So it's got 2 laps to hold off a fast charging Republic of Speed driver in that little white and pink Suzuki Swift. As we head down into the chase. And there's one interesting thing to note. The back in the day, the chase never used to be there. That used to be a complete straight all the way down to Murray's. So they put that in to slow the cars down a bit because they were doing way too fast a speed down into Murray's. So they put the chase in to help slow the guys down a little.
So I heard a story a child died, is that right? And that was why they put it in there?
A child?
Or like
but yeah, potentially. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what triggered it, but I just know that it never used to be there always used to be like a kink there.
Yeah.
But the chicane was never as like it was until I can't remember when they put it in, but when they started racing the touring cars, the big horsepower touring cars, they put that in there to slow them down because they were just entering into Murray's at just such a fast speed. It was getting dangerous, and there was definitely some serious accidents down into there.
Oh, here we go. Now I've just googled. So the chase was added in 1987 The
There
chase
you
is
go.
added in preparation for the World Touring Car Championship to adhere to FIA rules.
Yes, because the cars were getting too fast.
Yeah. Who would have thought motorsport they'd say the cars are too fast?
Yeah, Zip's ranged right up onto the back of Nux now. They're going to have a battle,
Gonna
a
be
last
fun
lap
one.
battle.
Yeah.
As we come down to the final lap.
Apologies
down
to
to-
anybody in the back, but we'll probably have to watch this one for the rest of this race.
I think so. I think these two guys have really been at it on and off for a couple of seasons now. But Zip's ranged right up onto the back down there through the chase as the extra tyre advantage has really come into play. They're coming down into Murray's.
So Nux will be
Heavy
just
on the
trying
brakes.
to try and hold him back for one more lap.
Yep, just
Freezy
got
will
to
be
put the car in
pushing
the
it
right
every
places.
Yeah.
And Zip has got definitely got the tyre advantage. As we come up the hill, coming across the mountain is where the tyres are really going to start to show. He's got a run coming up the hill, up into Griffith. This is all to play for now for the first round of the Dash for Cash. Zip's around the outside of Griffiths. Can he hold it the inside into the cutting? He's still got position. Is he going to be able to get there? And he's tucked back into the back there. Just didn't quite have enough overlap. Coming into the cutting, and up the hill, up through Reed, down to the big tree there on the left is usually your turning point. You come up through McPhillamy Park across the top of the mountain. Super fast part of the track here, really easy to make a mistake. Come around the corner here, you can really easily clip the inside, get sent into the gravel. Go down through the S's. Zip shows him the nose down into the S's. Down into the dipper. Make sure you don't get yourself a penalty. Out of there, down through the little S's here into Forest Elbow. Is he going to be close enough to make a run down into the chase? It's a nice run out of the corner. Doesn't clip the wall. Gets the gear changes right. Nux has got a little gap. Is it enough to hold him off? Does he come down into the chase? Is he going to make... He's ranging up. The draft is really coming into effect there. He's going to pull out to the inside, which is... He's just gotten clear of him. He's gotten past.
Yes.
He drove past him. That's him. Super impressive.
Wow.
Nux tried to get laid onto the brakes. Zip comes around down into Murray's, and he's going to take out the first round of the Les Rawlins Dash for Cash.
Yeah.
Les Rawlins Conveyancing Dash for Cash. First round winner, Republic of Speed for Zip, followed by Nux, followed by Stefko with a great podium finish. Baker Boy right on his tail. Brutal's come through for 5th with the alternate strategy.
Sure.
MCDC and Swinger fighting it out to the last moment there for 6th and 7th. Then we've got Zuzu and Almonds and Parrot all together coming around there for 8th, 9th and 10th. We've got 8th, 10th, and then... Oh, he's going to get it! Oh, Almonds got 8th. Zoo got 9th, Parrots for 10th, and Utrolic has come across the line in 11th after getting that penalty through the dipper, which has really cost him.
Yeah.
What a great opening round. What a great race.
Yeah. That was...
Farisi with the win takes the lead in the inaugural Les Rawlins Conveyancing Dash for Cash. And, well, what can you say? What a great race.
Absolutely.
Alternate strategies, different pit timings. Farisi with the missed start. He's coming back and fighting hard the whole way.
Yeah.
So it's been a great race. It's a great first round. As the boys get ready to park the Swifty Mobile and jump into the WRX, the Subaru.
The Subaru.
Subaru, or the Subaru, depending on which side of the ditch
Side of the Tasman.
you're from.
That's right.
That's this is going to make it super interesting. And as they do that, what we might take the opportunity to do, congratulations to all the guys for a great race. And
Absolutely.
we also just want to say a big thank you to Les Rawlins Conveyancing for sponsorship for the Dash for Cash. And just so you guys know everything that's going on, I'm just going to tell you a little bit more about Les Rawlins Conveyancing, as I think my good friend visual master here, Black Sugar, is going to put up some images here of Les Rawlins Conveyancing website. But those guys have sponsored the Dash for Cash. They've put up the money, and it's made it a whole heap of fun. So what we're going to do is just put up some images, and once they're up, I'll give you guys a little bit of information on Les Rawlins Conveyancing.
Yeah, I've got them up. I've got his website up here. So
okay, Les Rawlins Conveyancing. Les Rawlins Conveyancing is a boutique licensed settlement agent in Western Australia for over 25 years. He's been doing professional conveyancing and is your trusted settlement agent. Wherever you live, nationally or overseas, if you're buying property in Western Australia, Les Rawlins Conveyancing is your trusted settlement agent. Western Australian property laws are extremely different to other states of Australia, so you should always use a settlement agent based in WA or Western Australia who is knowledgeable in all aspects of the relevant legislation in Western Australia. Please visit his website at www.lrowa.au for information regarding Les Rawlins Conveyancing and the types of property transactions that can be performed on your behalf. So big thank you out there to Les Rawlins Conveyancing for sponsoring this. And if you guys need any work, if you guys are thinking of buying a property in Western Australia, or you're thinking of buying a property anywhere, I think you can definitely give Les Rawlins a call. Jump on the website, send him an email, send him a smoke signal, a carrier pigeon. I don't think he'll care where he gets the message, as long as you guys contact him, and he can help you guys procure any properties that you need safely and legally.
And if we have a look,
fantastic.
He's a good-looking bloke. Look at that. He's a pretty guy there with over 25 years professional experience in the settlement industry. I'm just reading his website while we're waiting for this track to change. But you can see, if up in the top right-hand corner there, you can see his phone number. So if you actually want to get in touch with him and you have a phone, then that's probably your best way. Give him a call, although I do hear him swearing if you interrupt his race. So
yeah, you don't call him right now.
No.
Maybe just after the stream. Unless you've got an urgent multi-billion-dollar property deal that you want to do in WA, I'm sure he won't mind if you called him then.
That's right.
But the chances of the 9 people who are watching actually having that much money is very slim.
Yeah.
But if anyone out there has a couple of $1 billion to spend in property in WA,
he's your man.
jump on the phone.
Yeah, look at this. I'm just looking at a testimonial. Tom and Sam, best referral we've ever had from the initial inquiry until the settlement close out phone call. You deal with one person, and his name is Les from LRC. Old-fashioned values with modern efficiencies and a transparent cost structure means you will not be disappointed at all. And actually, in saying that, sorry, when you were reading out the website, I think maybe he'd given you a typo, because it's actually lrc.wa@au.
Oh, okay. Apologies.
Sorry, lrcwa.au is the website.
Very good.
All right, I can turn this off now. Hang on.
Yeah, back to racing.
Back to racing.
What a handsome
start in the quali.
What a handsome gentleman.
That's right, absolutely.
But sponsorship obligations out of the way. And back to track. So we've got everyone hopping out now for qualifying.
Oh, that's a much better looking car, isn't it?
Yes, the Subaru.
The Subaru.
It's a bit of turbocharged action as we jump into a high horsepower, high downforce, very stiff car, I've found this to be a very, it's very rigid. It's not very forgiving if you hit any bumps or ripple strips. So you have to be a little bit careful, and especially coming out of the front wheel drive car, which is just all like pedal to the metal, basically. Coming out of that and into this, super tricky if you haven't done any practice.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have a bit of fun. About an hour.
Oh, it's always the cutting for me. Like the first lap every time, just like loop it at the cutting. I don't know what it is. It's weird.
Well, I look forward to that in our race.
Well, I was thinking more like just get it out of the way in practice.
Oh, right.
Then, and then overcome those hurdles and have a good race. But
Yeah.
but you never know. Stranger things have happened. As you come through here, the guys are going to have a few laps of, I think, just a few laps of practice, just to sort of get the front wheel drive taste out of their mouths, so to speak.
We've got a bit of cloud coverage here, eh? So will that make?
Yeah.
Here we go. Look, now Nux has gone in after. Oh, and he will have picked up a little penalty there. I'm assuming he's gone right out on the grass as he's gone into pit lane. So that's going to cost him.
You're not sure.
Well, I don't know actually. I'm saying that's what might happen. I have no idea.
It's interesting. Have these guys have they kicked off quali yet?
This is quali.
No. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't realise the guys had started. They started while we were doing our sponsorship blurb.
Just as we closed it off, they had kicked off.
I didn't see him. I didn't see him start it. Sorry, I thought they were still doing practice laps.
Oh, no.
But anyway, well, qualifying is underway. The 10-minute qualifying, which is going to be as much as familiarising themselves with the car as it is qualifying.
Look at Nux's
It's
penalty.
5.5 seconds.
Yeah,
Ouch.
Yeah.
At least it's going to be on his out lap, so it won't hurt him too bad.
So that must be why he has actually come in after on his out lap. He's come back in because he must have picked up a 2.5 second penalty. What in the chase? No, was it the dipper? The dipper.
In the dipper. It might not have. He might just be doing. He might just be doing a similar strategy to what they did in the Swift, where they've stopped at the end of the out lap, fresh tyres, and doing just qualifying that way rather than trying to stop later. But it is risky because if you don't put a banker lap in, it can be tricky. If you make a mistake on the next lap, then it can be tricky.
Yeah.
So what times have you seen floating around the practice lobbies during the week?
I haven't done any practices. Not in this one. I haven't done a single practice lobby. I've done about 4 laps in this car and gone, oh yeah, that was fun. So
yeah, right.
hopeful from brutal.
Yeah. I reckon we could potentially see, with a bit of cloud cover, I think we might be able to see a 201.
Oh yeah.
Low fuel, bit of cloud cover.
Yeah.
It's going to be super interesting. Got a few more people back in the stream now. Got up to 13. If you want to say hi, say hi. We'll give you a shout out on the stream. Send us a comment. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. All those good things.
It's the one.
It helps the channel to do nothing, as it does nothing already. So, but we appreciate your help. So, as Stefko goes around in a 2:03.8 to set the time to beat. Just going to see how the guys are going to shake out. You throw like with a 204 flat. none of the other guys have really posted a lap. We've got some 09s, some 07s, some out laps, some in laps and stuff. So no one else has really done it. Oh, Farizip's got a 3-second penalty.
Brutal is 8 tenths purple here, so he must be. Where would that put
It's
him?
on track for a low 3.
Low 3, yeah.
Yeah, low 3 or maybe a 2 if he can improve in his final sector. Comes down into Murray's. Keeps it nice and clean and tidy. On the gas. Yep. 3-2. Go to the top of the pops. Stefko going. There's a little bit of grass coming out of the chase. Down into Murray's.
Swinger's just got himself in P2.
Yep. Go across the line here.
Oh,
Stefko to the top.
Look at that. Yeah.
Yep.
This ain't no Dodge Viper, is it?
203, 203.1, 203.2.
500ths of a second.
You've got Parrot.
Brutal purple
Jump
again.
on was not bad thanks to the top of the leaderboard.
Oh yeah, look at that.
With a 202.8. He goes around, he'll get one more crack at it. As he goes 2 tenths purple through the first sector.
Now he's going to be held up by Zoo here, isn't he?
Potentially. Depends on where he comes across him on track. If he can get through the top of the mountain without being slowed down, it might actually help him on the straight. As long as it doesn't catch him in an awkward spot like in the Dippo or Forest Elbow or something.
Yeah.
It might actually give him some benefit down the Conrod. Come through across McPhillamy Park. If you have never been to the mountain, I suggest someday you get down there and go for a drive around the track. It's open road, it's a public road, so you can go for a drive around there anytime you like. And you just realise how steep and how off camber some of these corners are when you drive them in real life. It is ridiculous to see and to understand how fast the real life drivers go around this track. It is crazy to me that those guys can get around this track the way they do, with how steep and strange some of the shapes of these corners are. And the bumps in the track too, something that really stood out to me when I was down there, is how Oz Baker Boys looped it coming out of the chase there. Come across here, is he going to better his time? I'm going to get a 1. Oh, 2027. Zoo has also popped up to second place with a 202.8. Brutal with a 203.6. Stefko is... he might make it around. His tyres are looking fairly ordinary.
Where is he?
Let's wait and see. He's the 30-second overrun, and I think he's going to make it.
47 seconds into this lap.
He's
yeah,
got
that seems
60
about right.
seconds. He's
Yeah.
got 60 seconds to get around.
Which he should do.
Nope,
Oh,
not now.
no,
He won't.
not like that, he
Clip
won't.
the inside.
Woo.
Spin, baby, spin.
Yeah.
Like one of DJ Stefko's records. Just spun it around.
That's right.
It's yeah, there we go. So
MCDC,
preliminary grid is Nux, Zoo, Brutal, Stefko, Farizip, Almonds. Almonds were great showing there in 6th.
Yeah, absolutely.
MCDC, who's not gonna get there, I don't think.
Oh, no, definitely not now.
No, he's given up on that. So he's weaving down the straight. Swinger with a 3.7. Throlic with a 4 flat. Alright. Nux with the pole, Zoo, Brutal, Stefko, Farizip, Almonds, Macca, Swinger, Eutrolic, Parrot, and Baker. Baker's had an absolute nightmare qualifying session.
Had that spin.
The 220.
Yeah.
That really has not gone well for Baker there. But let's see what he can do in the race. Might be an alternative strategy happening. See what he decides to do as we get ready for the start of the second round of the inaugural Les Rawlins Conveyancing Dash for Cash.
That's the one.
It's going to be interesting. A couple of different ways to go about this race. Tyre selections. Soft tyres, believe, are mandatory again in this race.
Yes,
I'm
they
not
are.
sure.
Yeah, it does
yes,
say it there.
so soft tyres are mandatory. Grid start again. So we'll have to see if there are still some lingering nightmares from the previous race.
Yeah.
We're just about to get underway. Cloud cover. It's looking ominous, but we all know it can't rain here at Bathurst in Gran Turismo, so we're safe from the rain, but it is going to make it slippery. 5 lights. Lights are out, they're away. Brutal's gotten a great start there. He's got a good jump. Zoo's nicely away on the outside and has going to take the lead. Bit of a lazy light there from... Oh, we've got a spin. Who's around? We've got Parrot, Almonds, and Baker are all... have had a coming together, coming into Hell Corner. So a bit of a lazy light there from Nux has allowed Zoo to jump the start and get around the outside of Hell's Corner.
So we did just watch the replay, and I really couldn't tell what happened there. There were cars spinning around all over the place.
It's a tricky
corner
spot. Yeah, like it looks like there's some bit of pushing and shoving and grass involved. It's definitely an interesting one there to see what the stewards have to say about that. But Zoo has jumped Nux at the start with a better start, and we have Zoo, Nux, DJ Stefko, Brutal, RS Freezip, Macca, Eutrolic, Swinger, all together. And then we have Almonds in 9th, Baker in 10th, and Parrot in 11th. Let's head back down to the start, to the front of the grid here. We've got Zoo, and we've got a rather frisky looking Nux has caught up to him in the slipstream, down into the chase, heavy on the brakes. Tip it in, got to make sure you get the car straight before you get on the gas. It's really wiggly through there in this thing. Come down into Murray's Corner, heavy on the brakes. Watch out for the big ripple strip in the corner as Zoo goes a little wide there and lights up the rears. Just missed the apex by half a car width, and it's just takes away all your grip through there. As he runs wide a little bit as well. It's going to give Nux a great run up the hill. Is he going to be able to get a move done coming into Griffith? He's right on his hammer. He cuts to the inside. Zoo doesn't go defensive, which I'm a bit surprised about. He's giving him the inside here as Zoo hangs around the outside of Griffith, but we know how dodgy that can be. It's really cost him. Nux has made the move into Griffith, just coming up through the cutting. Be really careful in the exit of the cutting. It can be really slippery. Make sure you get your gear change right. Up to the tree, turn into the tree, through Reed, up the hill.
These tips you're giving me, this is good. I'm going to look for a tree.
Over the top. over the ripple, cut it hard down into McPhillamy Park, across the top of the mountain, down into the S's, hard on the brakes, down into the dipper. Careful you don't get yourself a penalty through there. We come down the run, down in. Oh, Zoo's clipped the inside. Oh, he's held it together, but it's just given Nux a breathing space out into the straight there, and it's brutal. It's come through into third. It's past Farizip and Stefko there somewhere.
I see no scratches on his car, so he must have done it cleanly.
Must have, as he's just, that one little tap on the wall has really caused, as the two go side by side through the cutting.
Look at that, he's just gone past
It's
Zoo.
just nicely done there. And then, oh, Farizip's, Zeus, is he going to save it? No, not quite.
Okay, we're going to watch, we'll do a replay of that one. Let's see how...
There was a little bit of there's a little bit of messy driving there, it looks like, but we'll have a look at the replay and stewards will get it sorted out.
Yeah, it definitely looks like Farizi's made a bit of contact there with Zoo and given him a clip.
This has just opened up the door for Nux to clear out. He's got 2 second lead, nearly 2.5 second lead over Brutal, as Macca and Stefko go side by side down into Griffith. DJ Stefko thinks better of it. Farizip's right on their tail there after that incident with Zoo. They come up through the cutting and then up the hill through Reed, past the tree.
I need to look out for this tree.
There is a name for that tree. I can't remember what it is. Yeah, there's that tree, and then there's another tree on the inside of the dipper that hangs out over the dipper. That's another famous tree that's in all the photos. You see it as you come down here. Yeah, right there on the corner.
Oh yeah.
It's come down Forest Elbow. We've got Stefko in front of Farizip. It's just going to get a run down onto the straight. Got Nux, Brutal, Macca, the two orange cars, side nose to tail again. Farizip, is he going to make a move down in the chase? Stefko just puts his car nicely in the right spot there. Makes it difficult. Is Farizip gonna... No, he's not... Doesn't quite have the run to make a move into Murray's. But he's going to...
Try and give him some help.
Yeah, he's got a good run out of there, down into Hell Corner. One of the other great overtaking zones here. Nicely, got that done nicely, nice and clean. Just going back through the pack there, we've got Hydraulic and Swinger in 6th and 7th, Baker Boy in 8th, Almonds in 9th, 10th is Parrot, and Zoo in 11th. And let's have a bit of a run through the field and check the tyre strategies, something we haven't touched on yet. So we've got Nux on softs, Brutal's on softs, Macca's on softs, and we've got Farizip in 4th, the first of the medium runners. Hydraulic on soft, Stefko on mediums, Swinger on mediums, Baker Boys on softs, Almonds on mediums, Parrot on mediums, and Zoo also on mediums. So we're gonna have a bit of alternating strategy here. It's gonna have to wait, see how it shakes out later in the race. Come along. Nux is just building up that lead steadily. He's out to 3 seconds now.
I think he's actually purple on this lap too, isn't he?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen it sector time, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Oh no, maybe not. Oh, yeah.
But you can see already lap 4, half the tyre is already gone.
Oh yeah.
So
We
You
can't
can
see.
imagine that these. Sorry.
We can't see. We're
No,
not
well,
showing
we
any
can
of that.
see.
You can see it.
I can see.
That's right.
But significant tyre wear happening here for the soft runners at the start of the race, and they're all roughly around about the same. So no real advantage to anyone in that regard. But
Ferrezi's got purple. He's now taken with an 02.8.
oh, on the medium tyre.
Yeah.
Wow, that's flying. He's absolutely cooking. That's 2028 on the medium tyre. It's going to be interesting if he can keep that pace up on the medium tyre. It's going to be really interesting to see where he's going to shake out. He's going to have to start to make some moves and get past some cars, because these guys in front of him may be holding him up a little bit. But that's going to be interesting. Considering the front runners are still in the 3s on the softs, and he's in the 2s. It's a little bit surprising that he's. I just wonder. Gran Turismo 7 might be doing Gran Turismo 7 things here. He may not be. His tyre might not be showing up correctly, but we'll have to wait and see.
Right. Oh, you're thinking
because,
maybe he's on softs and it's
I think
it mediums.
Maybe just a glitch, but he did have a good slipstream down the back straight in the last lap, so he could have picked up some time there.
Yeah.
But we will have to wait and see when the pit stops come.
Yeah.
At 3.7 seconds in the lead. And if the tyre situation is correct as per Gran Turismo, and that would be Farizip's our first medium runner, he is 4.2 seconds back from the lead of the race. So he's in a really good position there, but he's gonna looks like he's starting to get held up by Macca and Brutal. Yeah, by Team Jaffa.
Yep.
Just
He's loving the slip though.
he is. So, as
Ooh.
oh, Macca into the wall at Griffiths. It's been a common thing this race, and at this track, Griffith, the outside wall of Griffith has taken a beating. As Farizip on the medium tyre now looks like he's got the grip advantage over the worn softs, and he's really starting to make it count. Going to be up into second, you would think, fairly soon. We're going to see where. This is 4 seconds out now.
4.2, 4.3 behind Nux.
So just wonder when the soft runners are going to stop. It's like how they're gonna split the tyre. Takes a wide line into Barcelmo. It's a nice run onto the straight. We'll have to see what Mr. Brutal does. Not the easiest man to drive to pass, as we've all experienced in the past. He's not the easiest dude in the world to get by. He takes the inside. Tries to get the cut back. Can't quite get it done. Brings Macca back into the action. As Brutal into the pits. Nice and clean.
Interesting. So Brutal's going to pit after lap 6, and then do 9 on mediums.
Lap 6. 6 and 9.
Yeah.
As Baker Boy is also into the pits as well. They're going to be the two first guys, and it's going to be interesting to see now if how much Farizip can close down that gap. Now he's cleared Brutal, he's in fresh air, he's on the mediums. How much gap can he take up before the pit stops? That's a 5 5.1 second lead. So just have to keep an eye at it at the end of this lap and see where the gap is. See if it comes down. Yeah, it's starting to come down now up the hill. 4.7, 4.6.
Yeah.
So yes, just eating up time now. Nux comes down over McPhillamy, down into the dipper, through the S's and towards the dipper. Down into Forest Elbow. It's down under 4 seconds now, so it's dropped a second across the top of the mountain. Farizip's definitely got held up in that lap behind Brutal. He's clocked into 2:05. It's really hurt him. We would assume that Nux is going to be in this lap, I would assume.
And then come out on mediums. So medium soft seems to be the strategy, or soft medium?
I think it's, yeah, I think so. Unless,
no one's doing soft.
Unless he's going to go soft. He's going to go one more lap. He is. He's going one more lap.
Okay.
Looks like he's going to split it right down the middle, basically. Have to see if he can maintain that gap. I think that gap's down to 3.2. As Macca and Uthrolik hit the pit lane on their softs. It's not a bad strategy from Nux here. Doesn't want to give up track position.
No.
So he knows that if he goes into the pits, he's going to come out behind other cars. So
hold him up.
Yeah, he's going to hold him up, so he's going to try and run as long as he can on those softs. Try and split the race, basically down the middle, come out on another set of softs, and then hold off a fast finishing Farizip. So it's going to be basically a repeat of race one.
Yeah.
These two guys are going to end up battling it out again at the end of the race. It's going to be super interesting. You would think that Farizip's just eating up time now. He's under 2 seconds. Just across the top of the mountain, those soft tyres are really struggling. That front right tyre is nearly gone. He's down to almost under a second. You would imagine at the end of the straight, it's going to be within a second. He comes down into the cutting. Really hard to get that pulled up on worn tyres. Alright, into the pit lane.
Alright.
See, nice and clean through there, looks like. Stefko out on mediums, comes into the pits off his mediums.
So
Swinger goes past into second.
No,
Swinger's on mediums.
Right.
Popped up to second. Parrot on mediums as well. Up to third as he runs a little wide out of Hell Corner. See where Nux comes out in seventh. You're going to get some clean track. Comes out in the sixth. In front of Macca. But he's picked a nice little gap. He's got some clean air. So
yeah.
Just have to see what he can do. See if he can now just extend that gap to a Farizip on these next couple of laps. I think Farizip's probably going to do 10 and 5.
Yeah. Do we know what is it? What's the lap? Sorry, the pit time? Pit time?
I think it's about 35-ish seconds.
Right, so should
think.
Where does he come out? 25 behind Farizi, but he was right there. It might only be 25 seconds.
Mm. But yeah, it's about 30 seconds. It must be around about 30-ish seconds.
Yeah.
So Mac is starting to harass the back of Nux there. The last thing Nux needs is to have a raging Jaffa starting to harass him as he tries to get this gap. It's going to be all to play for towards the end of this race as the strategies start to wind themselves out. Start to
come up.
everyone's.
Who was that?
There you go. Farizip's in the pits now. Swinger's in the pits. You got Farizip. Keep an eye on Nux now as he comes out of Murray.
Armin's just coming into the chase. Oh yeah, he goes a little bit wide. Goes out for sand. Come to me because I.
Farizip is out. Is he in front? They're side by side going up Mountain Straight, and Nux just dives in front of him.
Nope.
So they're 1 lap different in tyres for their soft tyres.
Oh yeah.
But Nux tyres are nice and up to temperature, and Farizip's tyres are going to be a little bit cold for a few corners, so he's going to have to be careful. Doesn't want to get it a little bit squirrely. Be great. Nux would be thinking it'd be great if I can get in front of Zoo and get him in between me and Farizip.
Talking to Zoo and Coms and say, can you hold up the dude for me, please?
Yeah, just whatever you do, don't let that white and pink thing past you. As Nux goes purple across the top of the mountain. Zoo's looking a bit squirrely down there. He's on a very worn set of mediums.
So what he'll be in after this one, 10 and 5.
He's gonna have to be in this lap. Might have gone just 1 lap too many. That lap time is really going to cost him on this last lap. He's done a 2:04 last lap and a 2:06 the lap after. Down into the braking zone. A bit of nudge, nudge, wink, wink there. Farizip saying, I love this, thank you.
Yeah.
And
he's flashing.
He's flashing and he's going around again.
Wow, that's interesting.
Farizip's loving this.
Yeah. He's got in front.
Not sure exactly what Zoo's strategy is with this. Like, I don't even know if he's going to have enough fuel to get around.
This lap? Or you mean the whole all 15? Or just this lap? Really?
Just this lap.
Oh, wow.
He's flashing red and he's really low on fuel, so I don't know what I'm not sure what's happened there, whether he missed the pit lane because
he may have, he was
Nux was sort of in the wrong spot, so...
Oh, Reezy's, I think, giving him a bit of a nudge from behind.
Yeah. Zoo's going to have to really save a whole heap of fuel there. He's going to run out of fuel.
Is he?
He is 100% going to run out of fuel. He is dead out of fuel.
Oh, he's out right now?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. So I think that's one of those situations where you're like, there was so
Do you
much
take
going
the
on
penalty?
right down the bottom there.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh no! Someone has approached. Who's that? Was that
no,
Stefko? Stefko has approached.
Let's get
that
a replay on that one.
He has approached that over the top of McPhillamy and was not expecting a slow car to be there, and has just clipped the edge of Zoo.
Oh yeah. No, there you go. He just went straight in the back. Exactly what you said. Yeah, was not expecting it. Saw the car there, but and he's still not moving. Oh, I see. He's waiting for everyone to pass.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not going to be happy.
No. There might be some more said about that in the stewarding room.
Now, in that situation, how does that work? Should you be like in Zoo's position?
He should have been completely offline. Like, you know, or almost just stop.
Stop, let everybody pass.
You know, you're doing 80
Yeah.
k's an hour
Yeah.
on no fuel, and
Yeah.
the guys are coming through there in 5th gear at like 200 and something k's. So it's unfortunate, but
Yeah.
I think you just got to. I think in that situation you just got to cut the pit lane entry and take the penalty. You know, like now he's lost way more than 5.5 seconds.
Yeah.
Running out of fuel.
Yeah, I think that was. It looked like one of those situations where he was defending right there up until the end. He came around the chase. He was on the wrong side, and then and that was when he started flashing, and he completely lost. You know, maybe it's one of those situations you get caught up in all the excitement, you forget to jump in the pits.
Yeah, maybe.
I know I've done that.
Yeah, we've all done that
Yeah,
at some stage or another.
Yeah. I was supposed to pit then. What do we got? Parrots. Is Parrot the closest one behind Baker?
Yeah, looks like that's the closest on track. Brutal and Swinger or Macca. Macca's just lost it down the hill.
Oh no.
And that's brought Brutal straight back into the fight. So these guys are going to battle for the last spot on the podium.
Is that with
Macca's?
No. No, too late now anyway.
Brutal's on medium, fresh mediums. Macca is on worn softs. So Brutal comes to the inside through the kink.
Team
Just
Orange.
Enough there as he pulled it up. Oh, he just got it pulled up in time. As the Jaffas try and kill each other.
You still get Jaffas over there?
No, yes and no. They're not Jaffas. They're
Orange
they're the
chocolate.
same thing. Yeah, they're just like orange hard candy with a chocolate inside, but they're made by Darrell Lee and they're like twice the size of a normal Jaffa.
Ah. Yeah, I can't say I have not
So,
seen
the
a
same
Jaffa
thing.
in 10 years.
No, they discontinued them over here not so long ago. I think maybe like a year ago or something. They stopped them. And then everyone did what they did when the cyclone came. They went panic bought Jaffas. They disappeared off the shelves
paper.
when... Yeah, no, got to get your Jaffas.
Yeah.
We go back to the front now. We've got a 2-lap shootout between the same protagonists. We've got the same guys. We've got Nux in the lead, slightly older,
Yeah.
tyres, 1 lap, same amount of fuel. The like, who's going to be able to take advantage? Who's going to make a mistake? I don't think this tyre situation is not as big a disparity as it was in the last race, but still an advantage to for Exit there for the tyres, but definitely not as big of a disparity as it was the last race. So
Right.
if Nux is good enough, he can potentially hold him off, but for Exit's got to run down Conrod.
Yeah.
Did a great run down there as Nux goes defensive into the chase. Just get a great run out of the chase. Nux goes defensive down into Hell Corner as they're side by side. Put that Subaru just in the right spot. He's got a great run down the straight in, moves to the inside, down into Hell Corner. Gonna get the move made. Is the move a little early? Oh, this Freezy runs a little wide going up to the mountain straight. Is it going to leave him vulnerable to a move up into Griffith?
So what's a good strategy here for Nux? Just sit on his tail until you get to Conrod and then do the
Oh, I think it just depends on whether he can stay with him across the top of the mountain. That's where the tyres really, the change in the tyre advantage is all across the top of the mountain. So if Nux can stay with him across the top, then yeah, down into the Chase or down into Murray's potentially, or save it for the last lap. But you can see the gap opening up already across the top of the mountain.
Yeah,
That's just purely tyre, just purely grip advantage, and there's nothing that Nux can do about it. It's where all of the tyre advantage is across the top of that mountain. He's going to have to take some risks coming down the hill now. Nux is a very, very cool customer and a very seasoned driver. This is Fariziv's a big wiggle out of Forest Elbow. That's going to leave him a little vulnerable. He's not going to have the drive. It's the tyre advantage is definitely opened up. I think it might be. It's not over, but the slightly larger than normal woman is warming up her voice. Let's put it that way. As the gap opens up to just under a second. Come down into Murray's. Farizip is going to have to make an error, I believe, for Nux to take advantage. Gonna have to get a penalty, run wide, clip a wall. It's all possible. As we come into the final lap here, we might just quickly run back through the field as the two orange cars are at it again for third and fourth. Macca's made a move there nicely. Swinger is just looking at those guys going, yep, you guys keep fighting and I'm going to come right up behind you and hopefully snag a podium. And we've got Parrott, Baker, Uthrolik and Armans have resumed their hostilities. Stefko in 10th after this unfortunate incident with Zoo, and Zoo back in 11th after his fuel issue. We'll head back up to the front. It's 2.1 seconds now. Yeah, the tyre disparity is really showing itself now. Farizip across the top of the mountain has just opened up the gap substantially.
Yeah. So the closest
we might head back to the battle for third, fourth, and fifth.
Yeah.
We've got Macca, Brutal, and the mediums, and Swinger is catching up. Hand over fist here. Swinger's really caught up coming down the hill. He's going to get a good run out of the elbow and down onto the straight. Oh, he's just made a little mistake there coming through the dipper, which has cost him a bit of time, and he's run a little wide, so I think he's probably not going to be able to show his nose. But Brutal and Macca
weaving around all over the place.
Yeah, Macca trying to break the slipstream. Brutal not quite as close as he was last time. Macca's going to have to go defensive down into the chase. Moves to the inside, but Brutal's like, that's not inside enough, buddy.
Ooh.
Sticks it down the inside, but Macca gets the overcut, and Swinger's gotten past Brutal.
Wow.
Just got caught up there with Macca and has let Swinger come through for maybe a podium as he gets a run out of the corner. Is he going to be able to get past? Is he going to be close?
Oh, not quite.
No! Macca gets the podium spot. Swinger for fourth. Brutal for fifth. Parrott in the sixth. Then we have Baker Boy coming across. Armand's in ninth. Armand's in eighth. Sorry. Uthrolik is going to come across for ninth. Stefko got unfortunately caught up with the fuel issue with Zoo. And Zoo, who's had a forgettable round one of the Les Rawlins Dash for Cash. And it's going to come across in 11th place.
And on
So
any
we wait for
normal
those
day, you would
guys
look
to-
at this and say, oh, that could just be my drop round.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
unfortunately,
no drop rounds in the Dash for Cash.
no drop rounds for the Dash for Cash.
Les Rawlins Dash for Cash.
Yeah,
Gets a
so
little
it
bit
just
of
has
TV
with...
time.
It does, yeah. So we get on... Just chuck we'll chuck Swinger's car up on the stream here, and he's come through for fourth place. And this is the Les Rawlins himself, the sponsor of the Les Rawlins Dash for Cash, is DJ Swinger. He's come through for fourth here in this silver Subaru. Big thank you to our sponsor for the Dash for Cash, Les Rawlins Conveyancing. Again, hit up their website, give him a call, send him a smoke signal, carrier pigeon. Who cares? As long as he gets the message, send him a message to if you have any conveyancing needs in Western Australia or anywhere else for that matter. I'm sure he would be able to advise you of what you need. But congratulations to Farizi, who has taken the double in the first round for the Dash for Cash. So the foreigner has come in and spanked the locals on their home turf.
So
that is going to put the cat amongst the pigeons. The Aussies are not going to love that. But the Republic of Speed has come into our hometown and has spanked the Aussies. It's going to make it interesting for round 2 of the Dash for Cash.
Let's hope the Kiwi can do that in the W2W race.
Let's hope.
Spank the locals.
Is there more than one Kiwi?
Well, if I could just get Apex Humper to come and sit in my rig for me, that'd be great.
Yeah,
Humper,
that's
how
it.
far
Yeah,
away are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. Well, that was fun. And now it's our turn. Oh, we've got like 19 minutes to get in there and start racing. I'm not even going to get any practice in.
Oh, well.
That's fine.
Time to get a drink and visit the restroom and get ready to rock and roll. But it's been a great race, awesome action, and we're going to sign off really quickly so we can get in some practice before the race.
Yeah.
And good luck, guys.
Yeah. All right.
Div 2, here it comes. Unfortunately, no one's streaming Div 2, so you can't watch how awesome it's going to be.
That's right. We'll let you know all about
but rest
it next
assured, it will be fantastic. And we'll see you guys next week.
All right. Cool. Thanks, mate.